Let's turn it on. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. Hopefully, I have my very first sponsor as part of the So Rude podcast. We're back, baby. Hey, this is Paige Ruderman, and this is the So Rude podcast. Welcome to the show. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the So Rude podcast. My name is Paige Ruderman, and if you're new here, I'm the host of the So Rude podcast. It's a music podcast. I talk a lot about songwriting. I talk about music in general. I love to interview people, but every once in a blue moon, I love to hop on here and kind of do a solo episode because that's how this thing started. We're going to be closing in on 6 years of the So Rude podcast really shortly. July 4th was the very first day an episode went live in 2020. And shockingly, we're almost in July of 2026. So how 6 years flew by in the blink of an eye, I cannot tell you. But it feels good to be back. To be honest, this year has been kind of light when it comes to the podcast. For some of you that kind of keep up to date and check in, you'll see that I think 2 episodes have gone out so far this year, and there's many reasons for that. But to comment on why I'm releasing an episode now, to be honest, I wanted to come back. I just didn't know how to I didn't know how to do it, rip the band-aid off and get back into the swing of things, especially because I've gone through different waves. I think any type of creative can relate to this, where you have an idea and you do that for a while and then you kind of shift gears and you do that for a while and then you shift gears again. And if you've been a fan of this show, then you know we've gone through a wide host of different mediums. We've gone through different focuses, and I love that about the show. I love that I've been able to dive into whatever interests me. But sometimes when we're in the midst of that sort of change, it's hard to know how to navigate. I just thought it would be fun to kind of catch you guys all up to date as far as what is going on in my life, what's going on in my music life, and what you can expect for kind of the rest of this year. So as far as for me, it's currently May. I'm actually recording this the day before it goes out, so May 18th, 2026. And I have found that this year has been really exciting. It's been filled with a lot of travel. Back in January, I had a chance to go visit my family. They're down in Florida now, and that was beautiful. I loved the weather. I loved the palm trees. It was a fantastic opportunity to kind of step away from the Nashville scene. And I've always prided myself on my ability to be honest and open. And with that said, I will share that in some ways, while I love Nashville and I'm so happy I moved here and I've done things in the last almost 4 years in this town that I could have never imagined being part of my day-to-day life, there are some struggles with living in Nashville. I think trying to find and build a good community, trying to find people to spend time with that it feels like you're on equal footing and that you enjoy their company and vice versa. And being a creative in general is it's a lifestyle, At times it's going to come in waves. You're going to be looking at an empty sea being like, where did it go? And learning to navigate that, I don't think anyone ever becomes an expert. I think we all just become students of the craft and we're all doing the best that we can. So to be quite frank, there have been some moments in the last, I would say maybe 6 months, a little more than 6 months of kind of questioning, is Nashville even for me? There's a lot of factors that contribute to kind of some of those thoughts, but it certainly makes me reflect and just think about is this where I'm meant to be? Alongside that, I've had some incredible career highs. As of today, I've had 20 cuts as an independent songwriter with both independent and signed artists. Some of those songs have gone on to be part of really cool projects, like either compilation albums or EPs or bigger albums from an artist. I have some stuff coming up the pipeline that I'll be able to share in due time as far as songs that I'm really proud of that are going to be making their way into the world, hopefully this year. And there are just opportunities that I've had as a songwriter, like songs played at really iconic venues like the Bluebird Cafe and the Listening Room and a couple other venues around town that like Whiskey Jam and a couple others that have just been like really cool to get to see songs that I've written played on those stages, which are the same places that people coming out of your radio on your way to work or your Spotify playlists on the boat or as you're getting ready for a girls' night out or a weekend or sitting on an airplane or sitting in a car in traffic. Like all these places that you hear these more established artists played over radio stations or playlists or programs. Like I've written songs that got played on those same stages, which is like really, really cool. I definitely don't want to like look at that and not see the beauty in what's happened in the last 4 years. Another big thing for the podcast, this is kind of a really great opportunity to introduce it, but I have my very first like sponsor as part of the So Rude podcast. I want to shout out Working Order Guitars. Matt Stewart is the incredible luthier and guitar tech that came on the show, and artist and creative and podcast host. He was on the show earlier this year, and he is such a cool guy, so knowledgeable about instruments and music, and making sure your guitars are in tip-top shape for performance. And he is just such a cool guy, and I now get to say that he's one of the sponsors of the So Rude podcast. So if you're someone who's looking for guitar work, you want to get some guitar repairs done, or you want to get a setup for your guitar, or you want new strings, or frankly you just like need some advice on your instrument, he is a fantastic resource. I want to shout out Working Order Guitars. His information is going to be down below, and huge win for him. And I like really have to give props to him. He does work for me on my guitar, and we were connecting, and he's like, I want to just support you in a way that I've been supported. And I love when creatives are able to kind of like give back things that they've had happen for them. So huge, huge, huge shout out to Matt. Please make sure you go check out Working Order Guitars. He is the first sponsor of this podcast. What a fantastic way to kind of kick off future partnerships. And I'm so excited and proud to be in collaboration with him in that way. So again, if you need any guitar work, if you need help with your setting up an instrument, if you just have questions about your guitar, or you just want to sound better, like he's your guy, please make sure to go reach him out. Follow Working Order Guitars, follow Hotel on Fire. Matt is amazing. So that's a huge win for the podcast. Also, I have some really exciting interviews coming up. These have already been recorded, and I'm so excited to share them. I'm also in the process of collecting new interviews to kind of round out this year. I love interviews. I think it's a great way to introduce other creatives, other collaborators that I cross paths with, and highlight all the work that they do. Also, maybe I'll start doing a couple more solo episodes. I think the fun thing with that is you get to talk about things that interest you. And so there are things that I've had either thoughts on or opinions about when it comes to music or songwriting or songwriters or AI or recording or collaborations or finding people to work with, that these are kind of like internal thoughts, and maybe I journal about it, or maybe I like vent to my four walls about it. I am someone, again, this is kind of honesty hour, but like I am someone who is very comfortable going inward and like kind of stepping back, and I can get very comfortable alone. But like one thing I have to remind myself is music is not a solo event. It's not to say that you should put up with things that don't align with your values or don't make you feel seen, heard, or supported, but it's certainly a reflection point of keep those relationships alive. And I am someone who gets very comfortable at like kind of going inward and kind of like withdrawing. And I find like, girl, I can talk to a brick wall if I want to. So finding an outlet for those thoughts when I maybe don't have someone to talk to, that's kind of how this also came about. So bringing back some of the authentic and original components of the show is also an exciting endeavor. If there's topics you want me to talk more about, please make sure to share them. There's already things I know I want to touch on, and that'll be a great opportunity to kind of like explore things that I've noticed in the last year. I don't think I've done a solo episode since my goodbye of 2025 and maybe one earlier in 2025, but I don't do solos as much. So that's something to look forward to. The interviews are something to look forward to. Checking out Working Order Guitars, my first sponsor of the So Rude podcast, definitely worth checking out and something to look forward to. And finally, if you didn't know, one of the most cool things about the tail end of 2025 was I had 11 cuts that year, which at the time put me at 15 cuts as an independent songwriter. I now have 20 cuts as an independent songwriter, and those are just beautiful pieces of art that I want to share. And so I created the Written by Paige Ruderman playlist. This is on both Apple Music and Spotify. I'm going to have the links below if you're interested in checking it out. And just to kind of wrap this up, it's really scary to do something creative, and it's really scary to take a break from it. And it's even more scary to kind of come back from it. And so if you're welcoming me with open arms and you're excited to have me back in your ears or on your screen, that is such a gift. And I really appreciate it. If you're someone that's kind of tuned out and moved on, I understand. I hope to find you back in the crew. Or if there's someone in your network that you think could benefit from hearing some of the stories or some of the advice that I have to share or have had shared on the show, I encourage you to share the show with them. So with that said, we're back, baby. I got some episodes coming up the pipeline. I got some interviews I'm really excited about sharing. We have our first sponsor, the Working Orders Guitar Shop with Matt Stewart. He was amazing. He was a guest as well, so his episode's going to be below. Lots of links below for you to check out. As always, I truly appreciate it, and I hope you have a fantastic day, and I can't wait to chat with you soon. Bye now. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date with every episode. See you next time.